Hello, this is In-Depth Conversations. I'm Sherry, and today I wanted to talk about how did a candidate with no black agenda get the Democratic presidential nomination. And the man who won it's clear the front runner, the Democrat front runner, and who won the Democratic nomination is Joe Biden. And I want to talk about how did he have no black agenda and get so much black support. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the other people who were running. I know this is old and this is past, but I really wanted to start a conversation on this just to hear opinions in the comment section because I don't understand how he got it with other candidates who actually had real black agendas. So let's get into it. So let's talk about Bloomberg. It could be said that Bloomberg ran on basically a black people's plan in terms of just black people support. He X'd out every race and was like, we got to get black people on board. And from what I've heard and what I read, he actually does a lot in New York for black people. Like there's teachers who've gotten positions because of Bloomberg's policies. So he had the Greenwood Initiative, which was economic justice and to create generational wealth for black people. By how we are as black people, I don't understand. It's clear that black people have no wealth at all. And through this, I don't understand how Bloomberg didn't get more support, honestly. Because that's almost a staple in our need to try to close the wealth gap, which is not closing, for black people to catch up. Bloomberg had an amazing black agenda. And let's talk about quickly, let me just go through these quickly. Tom Steyer, of course, he had the African American Policy Empowerment, the Justice Department, and he wanted Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to fight predatory, discriminatory lending practices, and he fully supported reparations. That was one man who fully supported reparations and was upfront about it. Pete Buttigieg had the Douglass Plan for Black Americans, basically give more to black businesses, Community Homestead Act, which revitalized and redlined communities, free college for low-income students. And Elizabeth Warren's black agenda was so detailed. Hers was called a Working Agenda for Black America, and her plan was so specific. I mean, it had debt cancellation. It had particularly just a policy for black women. So she was really she had a really good plan for black people. But let's talk about Elizabeth Warren, Tom Steyer, Pete Buttigieg all had black agendas. So did Bloomberg. Now let's talk about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders really didn't have anything. Bernie Sanders is the type of person who was, we're going to do this for all Americans, each and every American, the working class people. He definitely generalized his campaign based off that. He didn't have anything for black people, but he was one of the front runners also, which didn't really make sense to me because he was just pulling numbers out of the air. But let's talk about Joe Biden and how he got so far with black voters and didn't even have a black agenda. And we could talk about Kamala Harris. Kamala had Lift Every Voice, but that really wasn't she. Of course, she's on video saying that every policy or agenda that is going to help black people will help all America. So she didn't have one either. And I cannot believe that Biden and Kamala are the people that black people are supporting. So let's get into what this means. So Biden presented nothing for black Americans, right? And what this does is, if people are against Trump, what this does is, if we accept the person who couldn't even get a black agenda for black Americans, and we accept it as the Democratic presidential nominee, Trump was right when he said, what do we have to lose? Because if we don't have any leverage, if we accept someone with no black agenda, that doesn't even make any sense. Republicans even had black agendas, even if they weren't put to the forefront. And this is going to make it dangerous, I feel like, for black people, because when talking about this, and it's not even like Joe Biden has an amazing track record, therefore he doesn't have to have a black agenda. I think a lot of people, particularly black people, are riding on the coattails saying that, oh, he was with Obama, we miss Obama since Trump's presidency, and Biden is not Obama. And you have to remember, when Obama was in office, he did things for LGBT, he did things for white women. He didn't do much for black people. Black people lost ground in every aspect. Housing, jobs. I mean, it was crazy. What happened under Obama? Black Lives Matter. Flint happened under Obama. Flint, Michigan, with the water crisis. We cannot expect Joe Biden to be this amazing man just because he was in office with Obama. I think this is really dangerous because everything Joe Biden has said has been disrespectful to black voters. Even in recent months, he basically said black Americans aren't diverse. He said basically, we have no time to joke. If voting is a serious thing, why is he always joking? Sleepy Joe always joking. This is serious, and he's always joking when things aren't funny. He said you ain't black if you're voting for Trump, or whatever he said. And I think he needs to get a reality and get a grip with things. His 93 crime bill is the most troubling thing to me when I think about why did black voters vote for him so heavily. And I think that if Joe Biden wins, he's going to do more harm than good. We see every time black people vote, black people will bring up a person so high, and at the end of the day, like they did Obama, at the end of the day, black voters, black Americans got left out, got nothing in return with Obama's 8-year presidency. My brother's keeper with Obama was philanthropy. There was no real policies. And I think black people I don't know how this happened where Joe actually got the nomination with no black agenda. What should we expect when Joe Biden has been saying all these things? We shouldn't expect anything in return. And it seems like people are having a hard time grappling for who they're voting for with this next election. I just don't understand what black voters think that Joe is going to do that Obama didn't do. If we had a fair criticism of Obama not doing much for black Americans, I don't understand why we think Joe would do something when we accept the fact that someone is just black and give them a chance and receive nothing in return after showing overwhelming support. Joe has all right to do absolutely nothing if black people vote for him because we've accepted that before. What I heard is saying you just have to show up to the black church and you get the vote. Okay, so comment below, you guys. What do you guys think? Why did Joe Biden get the presidential Democratic nomination going against Trump? Why do you think black people overwhelmingly supported Joe Biden with no black agenda? Comment below. And quickly, we had some amazing alternatives. Let me just point out Elizabeth Warren wanting to do something about hospitals, basically killing black women or not giving them the right amount of attention when they have children. For the mortality rate of when black women get birth. There were some good alternatives, and I feel like they were set in stone. They were set up really nicely. Why do you think that didn't catch the black people's attention? Comment below. Let me know what you think. They were great alternatives. Thank you for watching. This is In-Depth Conversations.